Okay, so we're here with Rory Fraser. So, Rory, in the past few weeks, it's been announced the funding. Obviously, you and Mo Farah are the only two 5K, 10K guys on the funding. Would you like to let us know how you found out?
I found out when I read it on Twitter because they sent all the stuff home to my house back home. My parents told me about it, and I got some emails about it. That's the first I ever heard of it. It wasn't like they told me I was going to be on it or anything like that. They just kind of announced it a couple of days beforehand. I had absolutely no idea.
Okay, so how is the funding going to help you with your preparations, I'm guessing, for the Worlds next year?
That is a great question. It's something that I had absolutely no idea about either. When they announced me on funding, I had no idea what that actually meant. Obviously, I haven't had too much contact with UK in the past, so I didn't know if it meant money or if it meant just medical treatment or any of that kind of stuff. But I think it would be different if I was in the UK. I think there's a lot of things that obviously you can get through the UK, like performance centres and stuff in Loughborough or wherever else. So if I was back in the UK, then it would be completely different. But being out here, they are going to support me and give me kind of reimbursements of stuff if I need to go and get any kind of treatment or massages or whatever, which is nice. But it gives, it allows me to work a few less hours, which is nice. And yeah, it's just nice to be recognised, to be honest.
Would it change your opinion of coming back to the UK now?
Honestly, no. I think I've done it, for me to get on funding. Everything I've done to get on funding has been based around out here in the US and the races out here and the kind of culture around it and the people I have to train with. If I kind of if I came home, then it would be very similar. But yeah, I kind of almost owe it a little bit to the States because of what they've invested a lot of time in me, people out here. So although it's nice to be recognised, I don't think at this stage it's not enough for me to move back. And the fact that people are moving out here and improving and keeping improving, coming out here, I think that kind of says it already.
Okay, so you said you were working. How are you finding working full time and fitting in your running as well?
It's not the easiest. You just have to be very, very time. You have to manage your time very well and diligent with those kind of things. It doesn't. I don't go home and have a nap every day, which would be great. But it's tough. It's just you just got to prioritize what your time is and try and make sure that you do both things well and give yourself the opportunity to do both things well. I mean, there's times when you'd like to be able to be a full-time athlete and get everything that comes along with that, and there's times that if I had to go do weights or whatever, I'd have to sacrifice doing that to go to work. But I've done it and it can be done for sure.
Are you finding that you're missing out, like obviously because you went to New Mexico? Are you finding like you're missing out on that kind of with the team? And do you still have time to fit in like the weights and the drills and the core, or do you just prioritize running?
Right now, I prioritize running. I've never been a big weights core or anything guy. I'm probably one of the worst athletes out there. I just run and that's it. So yeah, right now it's kind of hard to do those kind of things, especially because they're great, injury prevention tools. But I try and get it in as much as I can. Sometimes it just means getting up, at 5:30 rather than 6:30 or whatever to go and do some of that stuff. But it's not as easy in terms of doing it on your own. You're dead right. Being in New York, I haven't had to do too much stuff on my own because I've not got into the full-fledged, obviously track season, track workouts and stuff. But it definitely can make it hard trying to find people to run with and trying to get people to push you. But I guess that makes you mentally a little tougher too. I don't know.
So how long do you think it took you to actually fit into the new lifestyle of working full time?
Not too long. Not too long. I've always been pretty disciplined with that kind of stuff, and we always used to get up pretty early in the mornings to run when we were at New Mexico. Obviously, just afterwards you'd come home and just chill out and do nothing. But I've always been someone that likes to stay busy and likes to kind of do stuff. I can't just sit around all day on the computer. I mean, I can, but it gets boring after a while. So yeah, it didn't take too long. It's all about just lifestyle choices, really. You have to sacrifice probably a few things in order to gain a few things. But
do you have any other sponsors that would probably help you to become a full-time athlete, or do you want to work as well?
I have no other sponsors. I have myself, and that's it. So I think, to be honest, even with this funding, I still have to work. It's nice to get a bit of support, but it's not enough to kind of. I'd still have to work in order to live, which is fine. That's what I've been doing. I don't know. I think I'd still kind of like to, even if I was full time, I think I'd still maybe like to do something. Maybe work. I think the ideal would be to work like 15 or 20 hours a week, with still being able to train. But that's an ideal world, and not everyone lives in that ideal world, unfortunately.
Of course. So, Rory, what have you got planned for the rest of the season, and then going into 2013? What are going to be the big aims?
I'm doing a race on Saturday, actually, the day before the marathon. I'm not in great shape, but it just sounds like a fun thing to do. It's a 5K, the day before New York Marathon, just to get involved with the whole atmosphere of the day, and that should be pretty cool, good fun. And then I'm looking to do probably a half marathon at some time in January or February. So just gearing up for that, just trying to get the base phase in and just get a lot of miles run right now, and just trying to get everything done, and then just keep on improving, I guess, into the summer. And once I get into the summer, obviously, I would love to go to the Worlds. That would be great. That's obviously probably the number one target. It's still a bit of a ways off, but Tom Farrell showed this year that you can jump from 13:26 to 13:15. So seeing people like him do that is pretty inspirational, and also gives you hope that you can do it too. So yeah, it's good. And with the guys that we have in the UK, there's good competition now for that kind of stuff. So it's good to keep pushing you.
Are you just solely thinking about the 5K, or would the 10K be a possibility?
I would love to nail a 10K, but they suck.
Too many laps?
Huh?
Too many laps?
Damn right, too many laps. Yeah, I start to lose my mind after about 15. But yeah, hopefully maybe I can get in a race with Vernon and just stick behind him. If then he protects me from the wind, which is good. And then he can drag me along. So no, I don't know. I'd love to nail a 10K. Maybe, hopefully we'll see how the training goes, and we'll see. I'm just a pussy bastard, really. That's what it comes down to.
Well, Rory, from 8 Lane, we wish you the best of luck for the end of this, going into the end of the season.